In the newspaper in Puerto Rico this morning, I saw an article in which it is saying that a book is being published and stating that there's a tension between the First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama, and the staff at the White House. And I haven't seen the book, but I suspect it's going to talk about how she's a taskmaster and so forth. And what else would you expect? And of course, perhaps if she were, a different person, maybe, a white person or something like that, that would have been expected. Well, we have to, the boss is serious and this and that. But as a black person demonstrating certain skills that so far has been the domain of the whites, then it's a problem. You have to give her mom credit for having brought them up in Chicago and for them to distinguish themselves, she and her brother. Nevertheless, there are many parents who have done yeoman's work with the children, but when they go off and between leaving home and perhaps marrying, they're going to destroy themselves and get involved in so many things that it makes them unfit for future life. But she has avoided all that. Had a great career in law. Met this dashing, handsome, potential presidential, now come president, and she's trying to sort of pass on her type of discipline to the staff. I recall somebody was arguing the other day that, what I do in my spare time shouldn't be the government or any employer's business. So if I drink and I do drugs and I do all that stuff at the weekends or on holidays or whatever, it's like my time and so forth. But you see, when you're in certain professions, or as a matter of fact in life, everything counts. So if you don't sleep good at night, you can't do well on the job. You're going to be sleeping on the job. And worse, there's drugs because it diminishes one's mental capacity and potential. And so an individual should understand that this job is my life. If I don't have a job, you don't have a life because you can't pay rent, you can't pay bills, the whole 9 yards. And so this is a superpower. And as I watch around and I see things and so forth, I'm asking myself the question if a lot of people understand that it's a superpower first. And what superpowership means for an individual. Every individual has to be superpower. Even those with Down syndrome have to be a superpower. They have to do a little more than the regular Down syndrome in other countries and so forth. And so at the White House, first Afro-American president, he has his hands full. What he wants to do is going to be opposed because folks don't want, as Rush Limbaugh said, he wants the president to fail. And this is an underlying subconscious theme with a lot of folks. So if she sees that things aren't, up to superpower standard, and she wants to get on the case, it's fine because, he can't fail. If he fails, the whole country is going to collapse and the whole world is going to collapse. So, yes, she has an agenda. She wants to save the country. She wants to save the world. And if it means that some people won't like you and write books that will try to demean you and show some weird something that they considered weird, then I think it's appropriate. So for her to be a taskmaster, because with me, for example, I had my own business doing lawn care, and there's several things involved there. You go in people's yards, you see they have valuable things, you just leave it alone. Nobody's supervising you, get the job done perfect and right, and you just go. You get paid and, you just move on. This is what we need to do. We need to have people who are going to work as if it's their own enterprise. And the whole life, everything depends on them. And folks don't understand that the little piccolo in an orchestra is so small you could put in your pocket. But some musics that are written with the piccolo in, nothing plays but the piccolo. So if the piccolo guy says, my piccolo is so small, I'm not going to play it, then there's going to be a gap right in there. And then folks can say, what's wrong here? For this 2 seconds or this 10, 15 seconds, there was nothing. But the guy said, no, I'm not going to play my piccolo. So even though people are at the White House doing menial jobs as they think, or whatever the job is, you got to do it right. And you got to do it abundantly better than you would have done it if you were maybe in Europe or anywhere else. So I don't see it as the issue, and I think she should be complimented for being involved in running the country and assisting her husband. And I'm sure that this many women should understand that, look, when you're in a relationship, his job is your job, and your job is his job, and you have to help each other. And sometimes you might not like what you're doing, but I mean, not in this case, but I know a guy who tells me, man, my wife, she's cool, she's going to get stuff and we just smoke or whatever. I mean, she's not serious with this guy because right now he has a back problem. I guess the chemicals he's using sort of affect the bones and the discs in his back and so forth, and so she has to get somebody on the side, and he's going to be wondering, the whole nine. It's so complicated. So I say congratulations to her for doing a good job, and also how the kids are looking. They're looking great, and the president, in spite of the stress, etc., he looks great too. So congratulations, Mrs. Obama, and you're doing a fine job.